Hello, this is Ashley's Heart Song, the place where we get out of the stress and back into our body, our life, and our business. Y'all, when we tap into the song of our heart, that is when we master the mind and the stress that can steal our life. Welcome to today's show. This is all about that sacred pause. This is going to be a quick little mini Ashley's Heart Song show, just to remind you to step into the sacred pause. Step into that moment before your revival. This month is devoted to the revival of you, being able to stop, be in awareness, and notice what's happening in your life, how you've scheduled your life. Notice what's happening with your health and vitality. And it's time to take that pause, that moment, that sacred space of time to step into it and give yourself a little bit of love. Too often we find ourselves living inside of that myth around momentum, which that momentum in our life can carry us away. It is the speed, it's the scheduling of a lot of stuff in what people identify as busy. And then busy becomes chaotic, and chaotic becomes Mach 10 with your hair on fire. And Mach 10 with your hair on fire leads to bumping your head, stubbing your toe, and dropping your keys. All out frustration. And here at Ashley's Heart Song, it's truly about taking that pause, stepping inside your own power and taking that pause and giving yourself a little bit of, you can call it self-love, but it's really about attention in how you're nourishing yourself, body, soul, and spirit. So let's dive into this power of pause that you have heard me call it in the past. And I want to remind you that before we can even revive ourselves, we must rise into a state of awareness. I was working with a client today, and it's really that step that she's in is in that state of awareness, the state of noticing when she's about to step into frustration, she's about to step into the busy of her schedule and go Mach 10 with her hair on fire. She's now in that state of awareness where she can stop and pause and make that choice. Do I want to continue down this line, or do I want to shift and change? And y'all, how empowering is that to be able to all of a sudden notice that inside that moment you have all the time in the world to shift, to switch your course, to change direction, to be able to stop, be in that moment with your breath into presence. Wow, how empowering and how powerful that is for you. And I love that moment. I love that state of awareness when you all of a sudden realize you have a choice. It is so powerful because that's that space that we step into when we can truly regulate our nervous system, where we can truly resolve emotions and do the MRES process. It is where we find out and we learn what our triggers are and how those triggers are inviting us to release, let go, and rise. So we want to feel the pause, and we want to um, open up ourselves to the clarity that that pause will bring. When you do that, everything starts shifting, everything starts changing. So this month, I invite you to notice, where are you in your body? Is your nervous system on high alert? Is your nervous system reactive? Is your nervous system depressed? What is happening inside your body? Many times, all the nervous system is asking for is a little bit of quiet, a little bit of stillness. So inside that pause, you get to make that very powerful choice. Am I going to jump into reaction, or am I going to step into stillness? and bring the center of myself home. You have that choice. And that right there is where your next breakthrough lives. Like you, I have found myself on the edge of a burnout many times, but it's about noticing it, pausing, breathing, listening, and tuning in. It's about taking that moment for yourself so that you can empower yourself to rise, to enter into that space before your own revival. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. Inside that pause, you're going to find a sanctuary, a peace, ah, a renewal. So today, listen to what your soul is whispering. Is it listening for you to step into a pause so you can find some stillness and some awareness and some clarity? What is happening for you inside that moment of pause? Armor up is your sacred pause. When we armor up, we are armoring ourselves up with the song of our heart, with that core value that lives within us that leads the way, that wants to lead the way when we're not hijacked by past experiences, past patterns and behaviors, current patterns and behaviors. So we truly want to step into that space where we can armor up and find that renewal, begin to rise for our own revival. Thank you so much for joining me for this short message on Ashley's Heart Song. I hope it has blessed you, and join me next week as we continue to armor up our lives. Thanks for being here.